Shabbat Shalom. Parshat Tetze contains 74 commandments, more than any other, over 10% of the 613 commandments. And I remember when I was trying to teach this at my first Shabbat family experience and my first pulpit in Tucson. And the first aliyah I would get to is about going to war and taking a war bride, allowing her to mourn. I'm like, this is not really for families. The second aliyah was about having two wives. One loves and one hates. And I said, that's not really appropriate either. And the third was a rebellious son, a rebellious child being stoned. And I said, oy vey's mir, what's going on? Yeah, maybe I talked about the rabbis being uncomfortable and saying there never was a rebellious child. I remember a classmate in day school saying that he had to ask his father for forgiveness for giving him a bloody nose, lest he be considered a rebellious child. And God forbid, sentenced to death, which of course we wouldn't do in the modern age. But what do we do with these commandments that we find difficult to keep? We can look at it and say there's actually compassion, whereas in a war, someone would take the women of the town as conquest. In Judaism, there was compassion. One of them mourned for a month before one was taken. Or there's an approach that we have to treat, if you have more than one spouse, which was allowed until Rabbeinu Gershom in the Middle Ages for the Ashkenazi community, that you had to treat them equally even if you love one of them and you, God forbid, hate the other. And the rebellious child, of course, the rabbis legislate out of existence. But I don't want to end with reinterpretation of laws or even comparing Judaism to other societies. I want to go somewhere else. One of these commandments I love. The commandment that if you chance upon a nest and there are eggs in it, you need to shoo away the mother bird before taking the eggs so that she does not witness and have emotional harm from her eggs, her babies that were just hatched, being taken away. One of a few commandments that gives you long life according to the Bible. And it's that humaneness that we need to deal with in our community. It has nothing to do with kashrut. We can eat chicken and eggs together, or the mother and child together. But what it has to deal with is the level of humanity and common decency, that we don't want a mother to witness the taking of her young. We want to avoid that. And so there, while the parsha might begin on a difficult note to say the least, there are elements of humaneness in this parasha that we should pay attention to. Shabbat Shalom.